Vandeyam Shri Guru Shiyata Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sadhana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivishikam Vitam Om Jnana Timaranda Shagana Jana Shilakaya Chakshuranda Vitamyana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurava Bhishtam Supurakam Guraganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanagam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Bharatanam Bhaktiyan Bidam Sundaram Vande Vishwa Gurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Prem Navi Bija Pranam Mancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhavaja Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo 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 Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya-charitamrta by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Madhya Lila, chapter 13, the ecstatic dancing of the Lord at Ratha Yatra. A summary of this chapter is given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrita Prabhaha Bhashya as follows. After bathing early in the morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the deities Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra get aboard their three cars. This function is called Pandu Vijay. At that time, Maharaj Pratra Parudra took a broom with a golden handle and began to cleanse the road. Lord Jagannath took permission from the goddess of fortune and then started in the car for the Gundicha temple. The road to the temple led along a broad sandy beach, and on both sides of the road were residential quarters, houses, and gardens. Along that road, the servants called Godas began to pull the cars. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided his Sankirtan party into 7 divisions. With 2 mridangas in each division, there were altogether 14 mridangas. While performing kirtan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited various symptoms of transcendental ecstasy, and Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exchanged their feelings very blissfully. When the cars reached a place known as Balagandhi, the devotees offered the deities simple food. At this time, in a nearby garden, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees took a brief rest from the dancing. Sajiyat Krishna Chaitanya Shri Rathagre Nanartayat Yenasis Jagatam Chitram Jagannatho Pivishmita. May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who danced in front of the car of Sri Jagannath, be all glorified. By seeing his dancing, not only was the whole universe held in wonder, but Lord Jagannath himself became very much astonished. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaurabhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Chandra, and all glories to the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Shrotagan Shuna Kori Ekman Rata Jatrai Nritya Prabhura Paramamohan. All glories to the listeners of Sri Chaitanya-charitamrta. Please hear the description of the dancing of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the Ratha Yatra festival. His dancing is very enchanting. Please hear of it with great attention. Aradin Mahaprabhu Haya Sabadan Ratre Ute Ghanasange Koila Pratasnan. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal associates got up in the dark and attentively took their early morning baths. Pandu Vijay Dekibare Korila Gaman Jagannath Jatra Koila Chadi Simasan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal associates then went to see the ceremony of Pandu Vijay. During this ceremony, Lord Jagannath leaves his throne and gets up onto the car. Apane pratraparudla loya patragan Mahaprabhu Rigane Korai Vijay Darshan. Maharaj Pratraparudra in person, as well as his entourage, allowed the Pandu Vijaya ceremony to be seen by all the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Advaita Nitayadi Sange Bhaktagan Suke Mahaprabhu Deke Ishwaragaman. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his prominent devotees, Advaita Charya, Nityananda Prabhu and others, were very happy to observe how Lord Jagannath began the Ratha Yatra. Balishta Daitagan, Jainamata Hati, Jagannatha Vijay Karai, Kore Hutahati. They're very strongly built Daitas, carriers of the Jagannath deity, were as powerful as drunken elephants. They manually carried Lord Jagannath from the throne to the car. Katak Daita Kori Skandalamban, Katak Daita Dwari Sri Padmacharan. While carrying the deity of Lord Jagannath, some of the Daitas took hold of the shoulders of the Lord, and some caught his lotus feet. Katitati Bharadrida Stula Patadori Duidike Daitagan Utai Tahadari. The Lord Jagannath deity was bound at the waist by a strong, thick rope made of silk. From two sides, the Daitas caught hold of this rope and raised the deity. Ucha Drida Tuli Sab Pate Stani Egg Tuli Hoite Twarai Ara Tulite Ane. Strong, puffed up cotton pads called tulis were spread out from the throne to the car, and the heavy deity of Lord Jagannath was carried from one pillow-like pad to the next by the Daitas. Prabhu Padagate Tuli Hoy Kanda Kanda Tula Sab Udijai Shabda Hoy Prachanda. Well, the Daitas carried the heavy Jagannath deity from one pad to the next. Some of the pads broke and the cotton contents floated into the air. When they broke, they made a heavy cracking sound. Vishvambhar Jagannathe Ke Chalaite Pare Apana Ichaya Chale Korita Bihare. Lord Jagannath is the maintainer of the whole universe. Who can carry him from one place to another? The Lord moves by his personal will just to perform his pastimes. Mahaprabhu Manima Koridwani Nanabadya Kolahale Kichwina Shuni. While the Lord was transported from the throne to the car, tumultuous sounds were made on various musical instruments. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting Manima, Manima, but he could not be heard. The word Manima is used to address a respectable person in Orissa. Lord Jagannath was being respectfully addressed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this way. Tabe prataparuda kori apane sevan Subarna marjani loya kori pata samarjan. Well, the Lord was being carried from the throne to the car. King Pratraparudra personally engaged in the Lord's service by cleansing the road with a broom that had a golden handle. Chandana jalete kore bhata nisechane tucha seva kore basi rajasimasane. The king sprinkled the road with sandalwood scented water. Although he was the owner of the royal throne, he engaged in menial service for the sake of Lord Jagannath. Uttamahoya Raja Kori Tucha Sevan Ateva Jagannathera Kripara Bhajan. Although the king was the most exalted, respectable person, still he accepted menial service for the Lord. He therefore became a suitable candidate for receiving the Lord's mercy. Mahaprabhu Sukha Paila Sesava Dekite Mahaprabhu Kripa Hoila Se Seva Hoite. Upon seeing the king engaged in such menial service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy. Simply by rendering this service, the king received the mercy of the Lord. Ratera Sajanideki Loke Chamatkar Naba Hemamaya Rata Sumerakar. Everyone was astonished to see the decorations on the Rath car. The car appeared to be newly made of gold, and it was as high as Mount Sumeru. Here in this purport. In the year 1973, there was a gorgeous Ratha Yatra festival in London, England, and the car was brought to Trafalgar Square. The London daily newspaper, The Guardian, published a front-page caption, "ISKCON Ratha Yatra's rival to the Nelson column in Trafalgar Square." The Nelson column is a very impressive statue of Lord Nelson and can be seen from a good distance, just as the residents of Puri compared the Ratha Yatra car to Mount Sumeru. The residents of London consider the car a rival to the Nelson monument. Shata shata sut shamara tarpane ujwal upare patak shobe chandoya nirmal. The decorations included bright mirrors and hundreds of chamras, white wisps made of yaktails. On top of the car were a neat and clean canopy and a very beautiful flag. Gagara kinkini baje gantara Kwanita nana chitra pata bastre rata vibhushita. The car was also decorated with silken cloths and various pictures. Many brass bells, gongs, and ankle bells rang. Lilaya Chalila Ishwar Rataru Upar Aradui Rate Chade Subhadra Haladar. For the pastimes of the Ratha Yatra ceremony, Lord Jagannath got aboard one car, and his sister Subhadra and elder brother Balaram got aboard two other cars. When I was in Guadalajara, that time in ISKCON, but in 1987, we started Ratha Yatra there, and this continued since then. We went down to Main Street, but because some of the wires were low hanging, we had like a stick, and we had to push the wires up higher so that the Rath car could get under the wires. But then, I think the next year, they made the canopies so they would go up and down. They were retractable canopies. It was a nice invention. Yeah. And then I wrote to Srila Prabhupada about the Ratha Yatra, and he wrote back. He said, just see how Lord Jagannath is conquering the Malechas or something like that. But he said he was very happy with the news that Ratha Yatra was going on. Lilaya Chalila Ishwar Ratera Upar Aradue Rate Chade Subhadra Haladar. For the pastimes of the Ratha Yatra ceremony, Lord Jagannath got aboard one car, and his sister Subhadra and elder brother Balaram got aboard two other cars. Panchadashadin Ishwar Mahalakshmi Lana Tara Sange Krida Koila Nibrete Basya. For 15 days, the Lord had remained in a secluded place with the Supreme Goddess of Fortune and had performed his pastimes with her. Tahara Samati Loya Bhakte Sukadite Rate Chadi Bahir Hoila Bihara Korite. Having taken permission from the Goddess of Fortune, the Lord came out to ride on the Rath car and perform his pastimes for the pleasure of the devotees. Shukma Shweta Balupate Pulinera Sam Duidike Tata Sab Jena Brindavan. The fine white sand spread all over the path resembled the bank of the Jamuna, and the small gardens on both sides looked just like those in Vrindavan. Rate Chade Jagannath Korilagaman Dui Parshve Deki Chale Ananditaman As Lord Jagannath rode in his car and saw the beauty on both sides, his mind was filled with pleasure. Godasab Rata Tane Korea Ananda Kane Shigra Chale Rata Kane Chale Manda. The pullers of the car were known as Godas, and they pulled with great pleasure. However, the car sometimes went very fast and sometimes very slow. Kane Stira Hoya Rahe Tuni Leha Na Chale Ishwari Chai Chale Na Chale Karobole. Sometimes the car would stand still and not move, even though it was pulled very vigorously. The chariot therefore moved by the will of the Lord, not by the strength of any ordinary person. What happened? This must have gone off. Tabe Mahaprabhu sab loya bhaktagan swahaste paraila sabe maya chandan. As the car stood still, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gathered all his devotees and with his own hand decorated them with flower garlands and sandalwood pulp. Paramananda Puriyar Bharati Brahmananda Sri Haste Chandana Paya Barilananda. Paramananda Puri and Brahmananda Bharati were both personally given garlands and sandalwood pulp from the very hands of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This increased their transcendental pleasure. Advaita Charyara Prabhu Nityananda Sri Hasta Sparshe Duhara Hoilananda. Similarly, when the Advaita Charya Nityananda Prabhu felt the touch of the hand of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were very pleased. Kirtaniya Ganidila Maya Chandan Swarup Shivas Jahan Mukhya Duijan. The Lord also gave garlands and sandalwood pulp to the performers of Sankirtan. The two chief performers were Swarup Damodar and Srivas Thakur. And Srila Govinda Maharaj used to gather before the Rath Yatra, before the Navadip Dham Parikrama would begin, he would be there and he would put sandalwood on everyone's head and garlands. Chari Sampradaye Hoila Chabiskayan Dui Dui Mardan Gika Hoila Ashtajan. There were altogether 4 parties of kirtan performers There were altogether 4 parties of kirtan performers comprising 24 chanters. In each party, there were also 2 mridanga players, making an additional 8 persons. Tabe Mahaprabhu Mane Vichar Korea Chari Sampradaya Dila Gayana Bantiya. When the 4 parties were formed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after some consideration, divided the chanters. Nityananda Dvaita Haridas Chak Bakreshware Charijani Agyadila Nritya Korivare. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityananda Prabhu, Advaitacharya, Haridas Thakur, and Brakeshwara Pandit to dance in each of the 4 respective parties. So one dancer is Nityananda, in one party Nityananda, Advaitacharya in another, Haridas Thakur in another, and Brakeshwara Pandit. Pratame Sampradaye Koila Swarup Pradhan Arapanchajan Dila Tarapalingan. Swarup Damodar was chosen as the leader of the first party and was given 5 assistants to respond to his chanting. Damodar Narayan, Datta Govinda, Raghava Pandadara, Sri Govindananda. The 5 who responded to the singing of Swarup Damodar were Damodar Pandit, Narayan, Govinda Datta, Raghava Pandit, and Sri Govindananda. Advaita Nritya Korivari Agyatila Shivas Pradhan Ara Sampradaya Koila. Advaitacharya was ordered to dance in the first group. The Lord then formed another group with Srivas Thakur as the chief man. Gangadas Haridas Shriman Subhananda Shri Ram Panditahan Nache Nityananda. The 5 singers who responded to the singing of Srivas Thakur were Gangadas, Haridas, Sriman, Shubhananda, and Shri Ram Pandit. Sri Nityananda Prabhu was appointed as a dancer. Vasudeva Gopinath Murari Jahangai Mukunda Pradhan Koilara Sampradai. Another group was formed consisting of Vasudeva, Gopinath, and Murari. All these were responsive singers, and Mukunda was the chief singer. Shri Kanta Vallabhasen Araduijan Haridas Thakur Tahan Korananartan. Another 2 singers, Sri Kanta and Vallabhasen, joined as responsive singers. In this group, the senior Haridas Thakur was the dancer. Govinda Ghosh Pradhan, Koila Arasampradaya, Haridas, Vishnudas, Raghava, Jahangai. The Lord formed another party, appointing Govinda Ghosh as leader. In this group, Jyota Haridas, Vishnudas, and Raghava were the responsive singers. Madhava Vasudeva Ghosh, Dui Sahodar, Nritya Koran Tahan, Pandita Brakeshwar. 2 brothers named Madhava Ghosh and Vasudeva Ghosh also joined this group as responsive singers. Brakeshwar Pandit was the dancer. Kolina Gramare Kirtaniya Samaj Tahan Nitya Koran Ramananda Satyaraj. There was this Sankirtan party from the village known as Kalinagram, and Ramananda and Satyaraj were appointed the dancers in this group. Shantipurer Acharjer Ek Sampradai Achutananda Nachetata Arasab Gai. There was another party that came from Shantipur and was formed by Advaitacharya. Achutananda was the dancer, and the rest of the men were singers. Kandera Sampradaya Kore Anyatra Kirta Naraharinachitahan Sri Raghunandana. Another party was formed by the people of Kanda. These people were singing in a different place. In that group, Narahari Prabhu and Raghunandana were dancing. Jagannath Age Chari Sampradaya Gai Dui Pache Ek Sampradaya. 4 parties chanted and danced in front of Lord Jagannath, and on either side was another party, yet another was at the rear. Shata Sampradaya Bhaje Choda Madal Jaradwani Shuni Vaishnava Hoila Pagal. There were altogether 7 parties of Sankirtan, and in each party 2 men were beating drums. Thus 14 drums were being played at once. The sound was tumultuous, and all the devotees became mad. Vaishnavara Mega Gatai Hoila Bado Kirtanande Sab Barshe Netrajal. All the Vaishnavas came together like an assembly of clouds. As the devotees chanted the holy names in great ecstasy, tears fell from their eyes like rain. Sri Bhuvana Bari Ute Kirtanera Dwani Anya Badyadir Dwani Kichli Na Shuni. When the Sankirtan resounded, it filled the 3 worlds. Indeed, no one could hear any sound or musical instruments other than the Sankirtan. Shatatai Buli Prabhu Hari Hari Boli Jai Jagannath Bolin Hasta Juga Tuli. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered through all 7 groups, chanting the holy name, Hari Hari. Raising his arms, he shouted, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath,
Jai Jagannath,
Jai Jagannath,
Jai Jagannath.
Ara Ek Shakti Prabhu, Korila Prakash, Ek Kale Shatatai, Korila Bilas. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then exhibited another mystic power by performing pastimes simultaneously in all 7 groups. Sabe Kohe Prabhu Achan Mora Sampradai, Anyatai Nahi Jana Amare Dayai. Everyone said, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is present in my group. Indeed, he does not go anywhere else. He is bestowing his mercy upon us. Keho lakite nare prabhura achintya shakti antaranga bhakta jane jara shuddha bhakti. Actually, no one could see the inconceivable potency of the Lord. Only the most confidential devotees, those in pure, unalloyed bhakti yoga, devotional service, could understand. Kirtan dekiya Jagannath harashita sankirtan deki rata koriya stagita. Lord Jagannath was very much pleased with the Sankirtan, and he brought his car to a standstill just to see the performance. Prataparudra hoila parama vishmoy dekite vishpas raj hoila premamoy. Maharaj Prataparudra was also astonished to see the Sankirtan. He became inactive and was converted to ecstatic love of Krishna. Kashi Mishra Kohe Raj Prabhura Mahima, Kashi Mishra Kohe Tomar Bhagyara Nahisema. When the king informed Kashi Mishra of the glories of the Lord, Kashi Mishra replied, O king, your fortune has no limit. Sarvabhauma Sange Raj Kori Taratari Arakeho Nahi Jani Chaitanya-charitamrta. The king and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya were both aware of the Lord's activities, but no one else could see the tricks of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jari Tara Kripa Se Janibari Pare Kripa Bina Brahmadika Janibare Nare. Only a person who has received the mercy of the Lord can understand. Without the Lord's mercy, even the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma, cannot understand. Rajar Tucha Seva Deki Prabhur Tushtaman Seta Prasade Paila Rahasya Darshan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been very satisfied to see the king accept the menial task of sweeping the street, and for this humility the king received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He could therefore observe the mystery of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities. Sakatina Deya Deka Paroke Tadaya Ke Bujite Pare Chaitanya-charitamrta. Although the king had been refused an interview, he was indirectly bestowed causeless mercy. So although Mahaprabhu didn't give the king his direct darshan, still the king was bestowed mercy so that he could see Mahaprabhu's miracles and confidential pastime. Who can understand the internal potency of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Sarvabhauma Kashi Mishra Dui Mahashai Rajare Prasadadeki Hoila Vishmoy. When the two great personalities, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Kashi Mishra, saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless mercy upon the king, they were astonished. Emata Lila Prabhu Koila Katakan Apane Gayena Nachana Nija Bhaktagan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed his pastimes for some time in this way. He personally sang and induced his personal associates to dance. Kabu ek murti kabu han bahumurti karyanu rupa prabhu prakashaye shakti. According to his need, the Lord sometimes exhibited one form and sometimes many. This was being executed by his internal potency. Lila Beshe Prabhu Nahi Jejanu Sandan Ichajani Lila Shakti Kori Samadan. Indeed, the Lord forgot himself in the course of his pastimes, but his internal potency, Lila Shakti, knowing the intentions of the Lord, made all arrangements. Purve Jaiche Rasadi Lila Koila Brindavane Alukika Lila Gora Koila Kane Kane. Just as Sri Krishna formerly performed the Rasa Lila dance and other pastimes at Vrindavan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed uncommon pastimes moment after moment. Muktagan Anubhave Nahi Janiyan Sri Bhagavat Shastra Tahate Praman. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dancing before the Ratha Yatra car could be perceived only by pure devotees. others could not understand. Descriptions of Sri Krishna's uncommon dancing can be found in the revealed scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam. Emata Mahaprabhu Kori Nitya Range, Bashaila Sablok Primara Tarange. In this way, Mahaprabhu danced in great jubilation and inundated all the people with waves of ecstatic love. Emata Hoila Krishna Rate Arohan Tara Age Prabhu Nachaila Bhaktagan. Thus Lord Jagannath mounted his car, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inspired all his devotees to dance in front of it. Age Shuna Jagannath there, Gundicha Gaman, Tara Age Prabhu Jaiche Korila Nartan. Now please hear about Lord Jagannath going to the Gundicha temple while Mahaprabhu danced before the Rath car. Emata Kirtan Prabhu Korila Katakan, Apana Ujoge Nachaila Bhaktagan. The Lord performed kirtan for some time, and through his own endeavor inspired all the devotees to dance. Apanena Chite Jabe Prabhur Manahoila Shata Sambradaya Tabe Ekatra Korila. When the Lord himself wanted to dance, all 7 groups combined together. Srivasramaya Raghu Govinda Mukunda Haridas Govinda Nanda Madhava Govinda. The Lord's devotees, including Srivas, Ramai, Raghu, Govinda, Mukunda, Haridas, Govinda Nandan, Madhava, and Govinda, all combined together. Udanda Nritye Prabhu Jabe Holaman Swarupera Sangedila E Nabajan. When Mahaprabhu desired to jump high while dancing, he placed these 9 people in the charge of Swarup Damodar. Edas Jan Prabhura Sange Gai Dai Arasab Sampradaya Charidike Gai. These devotees, Swarup Damodar and the devotees in his charge, sang along with the Lord, and they also ran beside him. All the other groups of men also sang. Dandavat Kore Prabhu Jude Dui Hat Urdhva Mukhe Stute Kore Deki Jagannath. Offering obeisances to the Lord with folded hands, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu raised his face toward Jagannath and prayed as follows. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Ko Brahmana Hitaya Ja Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Krishna, who is the worshipable deity for all Brahminical men, who is the well-wisher of cows and Brahmins, and who is always benefiting the whole world. I offer my repeated obeisances to that Lord known as Krishna and Govinda. Jayati Jayati Devo Devaki Nandano So Jayati Jayati Krishna Vrishni Vamsha Pradipa Jayati Jayati Mega Shamala Komalango Jayati Jayati Prativi Bhara Nasho Makunda. All glories unto the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Devaki. All glories to he who is known as the light of the dynasty of Vrishni. All glories to that Lord whose bodily luster is like that of a new cloud, and whose body is as soft as a lotus flower. All glories to he who appeared on this planet to deliver the world from the burden of demons, and who can offer liberation to everyone. Jayati Janani Vaso Devaki Janmas Vado Yaduvara Parishat Swar Dorbir Ashyan Adharmam Stirachara Brijinagna Susmita Shri Mukena Brajapura Manithanam Vardayan Kamadevam. Sri Krishna is he who is known as Jananivas, the ultimate resort of all living entities, and who is also known as Devaki Nandan, or Yashoda Nandan, the son of Devaki and Yashoda. He is the guide of the Yadu dynasty, and with his mighty arms he kills everything inauspicious as well as every person who is impious. By his presence he destroys all things inauspicious for all living entities, moving and inert. His blissful, smiling face always increases the lusty desires of the gopis of Vrindavan. May he be all glorious and happy. Naham vipro na cha narapatir napi Vaishya na Shudro, Naham Varni na Cha, Grihapatirna, No Vanasto Yatirva, Kintu Brodadya Nikila, Paramananda, Purnamritabder, Gopi Bartu, Pada Kamalayor, Dashanudasha. I'm not a Brahmin, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not a Vaishya or a Shudra, nor am I a Brahmachari, a householder, a Vanaprastha, or a sannyasi. I identify myself only as the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis. He is like an ocean of nectar, and he is the cause of universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing with brilliance. Eta pari punarapi korila pranam chodahate bhaktagan vande bhagavan. Having recited all these verses from scripture, the Lord again offered his obeisances, and all the devotees with folded hands also offered prayers to the Supreme Lord. When Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high, roaring like thunder and moving in a circle like a wheel, he appeared like a circling firebrand, alata akar. Wherever Mahaprabhu stepped while dancing, the whole earth with its hills and seas appeared to tilt. When Mahaprabhu danced, he displays various blissful transcendental changes in his body. Sometimes he appeared as though stunned. Sometimes the hairs on his body stood on end. Sometimes he perspired, cried, trembled, and changed color. And sometimes he exhibited symptoms of helplessness, pride, exuberance, and humility. When Mahaprabhu fell down with a crash while dancing, he would roll on the ground. At such times it appeared that a golden mountain was rolling on the ground. Nityananda Prabhu would stretch, very beautiful. When Mahaprabhu fell down with a crash while dancing, he would roll on the ground. At such times it appeared that a golden mountain was rolling on the ground. Nityananda Prabhu would stretch out his two hands and try to catch the Lord when he was running here and there. Advaita Acharya would walk behind the Lord and loudly chant, Haribo, Haribo, again and again, just to check the crowds from coming too near the Lord. The devotees formed three circles. The first circle was guided by Nityananda Prabhu, who is Balaram himself, the possessor of great strength. All the devotees headed by Kashishvar and Govinda linked hands and formed a second circle around the Lord. Maharaj Pratraparudra and his personal associates formed a third circle around the two inner circles just to check the crowds from coming too near. With his hands on the shoulders of Hari Chandan, Maharaj Pratraparudra could see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing, and the king felt great ecstasy. While the king beheld the dancing, Srivas Thakur, standing in front of him, became ecstatic as he saw the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Seeing Srivas Thakur standing before the king, Hari Chandan, who's the servant of the king, touched Srivas with his hand and requested him to step aside. Absorbed in watching Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dance, Srivas Thakur could not understand why he was being touched and pushed. After he was pushed again and again, he became angry. Srivas Thakur slapped Hari Chandan to stop him from pushing him. And in turn, this made Hari Chandan angry. As the angered Hari Chandan was about to speak to Srivas Thakur, Pratraparudra Maharaj personally stopped him. Maharaj Pratraparudra said, "You are very fortunate, for you have been touched. You have been graced by the touch of Srivas Thakur. I am not so fortunate. You should feel obliged to him." Everyone was astonished by the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and even Lord Jagannath became extremely happy to see him. The car came to a complete standstill and remained immobile while Lord Jagannath, with unblinking eyes, watched the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The goddess of fortune Subhadra and Lord Balaram both felt great happiness and ecstasy within their hearts. Indeed, they were seen smiling at the dancing. When Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high, 8 wonderful transformations indicative of divine ecstasy were seen in his body. All these symptoms were visible simultaneously. His skin erupted with goose pimples, and the hairs of his body stood on end. His body resembled the shimuli, silk cotton tree, all covered with thorns. Indeed, the people became afraid just to see his teeth chatter. And they even thought that his teeth would fall out. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's whole body flowed with perspiration and at the same time oozed blood. He made the sounds Jaja Gaga in a voice choked with ecstasy. So what is Jaja Gaga? Jagannath. Jaja Gaga. Tears came forcefully from the eyes of the Lord as if from a syringe, and all the people surrounding him became wet. Everyone saw the complexion of his body change from white to pink so that his luster resembled that of the malika flower. Sometimes he appeared stunned, and sometimes he rolled on the ground. Indeed, sometimes his legs and hands became as hard as dry wood, and he did not move. When the Lord fell to the ground, sometimes his breathing almost stopped. When the devotees saw this, their lives also became very feeble. Water flowed from his eyes, and sometimes through his nostrils, and foam fell from his mouth. These flowings appeared to be torrents of nectar descending from the moon. The foam that fell from the mouth of Mahaprabhu was taken and drunk by Shubhananda, because he was very fortunate and expert in relishing the mellow of ecstatic love of Krishna. Krishna Prema Ras, he can relish that. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had performed his devastating dance for some time, his mind entered into a mood of ecstatic love. After abandoning the dancing, the Lord ordered Swarup Damodar to sing. Understanding his mind, Swarup Damodar began to sing as follows. Now I have gained the Lord of my life, in the absence of whom I was being burned by Cupid and was withering away. When this refrain was loudly sung by Swarup Damodar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again began rhythmically dancing in transcendental bliss. The car of Lord Jagannath began to move slowly, while Mahaprabhu went ahead and danced in front. While dancing and singing, all the devotees in front of Lord Jagannath kept their eyes on him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the end of the procession with the Sankirtan performers, his eyes and mind fully absorbed in Lord Jagannath. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to play the drama of the song with his two arms. When Mahaprabhu was dramatically enacting the song, he would sometimes fall behind in the procession. At such times, Lord Jagannath's car would come to a standstill. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again went forward, Lord Jagannath's car would slowly start again. Thus there was a sort of competition between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath in seeing who would lead. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strong that he made Lord Jagannath wait in his car. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing, his ecstasy changed. Raising his two arms, he began to recite the following verse in a loud voice. Yakomara hara se eva ivaras te eva chaitra shapas te chonmilita malati surabayo proda kadambanila sachaivasmi tathapi tatra surata vyapara lila vido reva rodasi vedasi taru tale cheta samutkantate. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of maladi flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover. Yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. That is my desire. So I'm going to stop here. Tomorrow we can continue. But this is, very beautiful description of Mahaprabhu's participation in Rath Yatra. What is his mood? Mood of Srimad